Hey gang, so I'm down here in my basement at my workbench because today we're going to review a new product, and that is the VTOMAN FlashSpeed 300. It's a 300 watt power station that you can take along with you while camping. Now obviously you can see here that this is a pretty good size unit. It comes in at about 7.5 pounds, and it's really not something you would take with you on the motorcycle. I mean, you could, if you needed to power a CPAP device, something like that, then you could take this along with you, fit it in a saddlebag. But for the most part, this isn't something, again, to go along on the motorcycle. This is more going to be for a car camping, or maybe if you tow a trailer behind your bike, or you want to trailer the bikes out to an area and camp for a while, then something like this can really come in handy. And that's exactly what I have been thinking. Being that I live here on the East Coast and every trip requires I have at least 2 or 3 days of interstate travel to get through all the big East Coast cities, well, I've been thinking about maybe trailering the bikes out to other locations in the country and spending some time camping in an area and really exploring that area and getting to know it a little bit better. Now, the FlashSpeed 300 uses a lithium iron phosphate battery, or a LiFePO battery. Right? It also has a Life BMS, or battery management system, included in it that makes the battery more stable and guards it against things like overheating. Now, LiFePO batteries are generally considered to be better than a straight lithium battery because they have more charging cycles that they can go through, and they tend to be more stable. So along with the power station itself, you also get, of course, the AC charging cord and a cord that can be used in your car. And for good measure, there's 2 USB Type-C charging cords. For ports, the FlashSpeed 300 comes with a DC in and a DC out port. It comes with a USB-C in and out, right? So you can use it to charge and, of course, power devices. You then have a USB-A port that is 5, 9, and 12 volts, and also 2 3.5 volt USB-A ports. Along with that, there are 2 AC out ports. Of course, 110 volt up to 300 watts. And on the other end, you have a multifunction light. To operate the unit, you have these 2 buttons on the back. This one you would press to turn on the DC power, and this for AC. So when it gets down to it, what can you actually do with one of these power stations? It only has 300 watts. Like, you can't really power a kettle, right? An electric kettle, for example. The one I have upstairs is 1500 watts, so it won't do that. All right, so basically what this unit is for is charging other batteries, things like your cell phone, your communication devices, your camera batteries. So that's what I do when I'm out traveling. So if I'm going to be camping and I don't have electricity around, then I could use this to maintain all of those other devices. So here's an example. When I travel, I usually carry a device like this. This is a 6-port little power station that when I'm in a hotel, I'll just plug this into the wall. But if I'm out camping, if I have this, now I can plug in that 6-port station and keep all of my camera batteries and my cell phone and everything else that I carry all charged up. We'll do a little experiment on that a little bit later. So another thing that I can do is power my little Chromebook that I take with me while I'm traveling. Not only can I charge the battery so that I can use it, again, free from the power station, but I can plug it into the power station, and then I can charge the battery in my Chromebook at the same time that I'm using it. And the power station does support pass-through charging. So I can put my charger on right here, plug it in at the same time that I am running my little Chromebook. You can see it right here. I got 64 watts in, 25 watts out. Now, while you can indeed charge batteries and the power station at the same time, this is not really meant to be a backup battery kind of situation where you would hook it up and leave it to your computer. Right? Really, what you're supposed to do is charge this unit up, and once it gets to 100%, again, unplug it again and let the battery deplete itself while it charges your other devices. I've seen some people who want to use this as like a backup battery, but it's not really designed to do that. Now, how do you know what kind of devices this thing can power? Well, basically, they have to be under 300 watts in order to work. Right? As I had mentioned before, if you're trying to run a kettle, right, that 1500 watts, well, that's not going to work, right? If you're going to try to run a shop light, like I have some shop lights here that are 400 watts, well, again, that's not going to work either. But if you have a lamp that is running a 60 or even 120 watt bulb, well, that will work just fine. As I said, primarily this thing is for charging and maintaining those other small devices that you have, or running things like computers and laptops. If you want to figure out how long you can power a specific device with this power station, well, it has a total capacity of 230 watt hours. So multiply that by 0.85, 85%, and then divide it by the wattage of the device that you want to power. So for example, if I wanted to power that little Chromebook that I have, it was pulling about 35 watts. So if we take 230, which is the capacity of this device, we multiply it times 0.85, that comes out to 195.5 watt hours, and then we divide that by 35, we're going to come out to about 5.6 hours, right, that this device, this power station, could power my Chromebook. So now let's perform a couple of tests. I'm going to take this unit upstairs to my spare bedroom, and we're going to set up a charging station like I might do while I'm traveling on the road. For the first test, I set up my little AC charger, plugging it into the VTOMAN FlashSpeed 300. And then I plugged in 3 battery chargers for my GoPro and the battery charger for my Insta360 camera. On top of that, I added in my CURTOSEY Edge and charged them overnight just like I would if I was out there traveling. In the morning, the VTOMAN FlashSpeed 300 had used about 32% of its power in order to charge all of these batteries and then maintain them through the night. So if you're like me and you have all these batteries to maintain, this 300 watt unit will last you about 3 days. But most people don't have all the equipment that I carry with me to document my videos. So I did a more realistic test where I just used the USB ports on the VTOMAN FlashSpeed 300 to charge my cell phone and my CURTOSEY Edge. Charging those overnight, the battery used about 7% of its power. Using the FlashSpeed 300 in this manner, you can expect to get, well, maybe 10 or 12 days out of it. So where can you buy this VTOMAN FlashSpeed 300 power station? Well, they sell them out there on Amazon, and right now I notice there's a $100 coupon, at least for Prime members. All right, so make sure you check that out when you go to take a look. Normal retail on this is $269. I'll make sure that I have some links in the description of this video. Alright gang, so that's it. This VTOMAN FlashSpeed 300, it seems to be a well-made, pretty nice product. It does what it's advertised. So if you're looking for something to maintain all of those other gadgets that we all carry with us while we're traveling, you might want to check this out. Now I'll let you know as I use this long term if I have any problems or so forth, but so far, as I said, seems to be a pretty solid unit. But go out there, take a look at it, and decide for yourself. Alright guys, keep riding safe, keep squeezing your lemon.